Hey everyone, so welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to learn about MySQL injection and integer based injection especially. So this is going to be a live demonstration. So first of all we'll understand how MySQL integer based injection can be performed, what are the different queries, and then we will look at the live demonstration also. So let's get started. All right, so we'll start with the basics. What is MySQL? So as we have understood in the previous slide, MySQL is an open source relational database management system. Okay, and developer usually uses MySQL with other open source programming languages in which they might be coding in PHP or some other languages. Developer can also use MySQL with ASP.NET Web Applications, which is a proprietary programming language of Microsoft. Syntax of MySQL queries is easy to understand. Okay, so this is like the basics of MySQL. It's a database management system and it's open source. Now, right from this slide, we are going to get started understanding about MySQL injection, and we are going to hunt SQL injection on live website. So step number one says find URLs ending with .php question mark. Some parameter is equals to some value. Okay, so it could be any parameter is equals to, it could be any value. For an example, we have a link over here. It's iogen.edu.in/pune/events underscore detailed.php question mark id is equals to 5. So this satisfies the search pattern which we are looking for. We are looking for .php question mark some parameter is equals to some value. So this fulfills it, right? At the end it ends with .php question mark id is equals to 5. So id is a parameter, 5 is a value. So we can find out such URLs with the help of Google Doc, which we have already covered in the previous slide. I'm sure that you guys know how Google Doc works. But quickly, we can just go to Google, and yeah, here it is. So I've typed down site iogen.edu.in in URL colon .php question mark and is equals to, because we don't know whether there is any id or whether there is any other column over there, other parameter over there. So we can simply type down enter, and we have the list of different URLs. Okay, here id is equals to 2, here id is equals to 1, here id is equals to 86. So as you can see, we have list of different URLs. Okay, so you can try on any one particular URL. If it's not working on one URL, try on another URL. Okay, yes, it could be the possible scenario that on one URL it may not work sometime. Okay, but on another URL it may work. So yeah, you should try that as well. So that's what you need to do in step number one. Make sure you do not restrict to id parameter. It could be anything. Okay, you do not know what are the parameters in a particular web application. So id is just the first step that we look for, but you do not restrict yourself to id parameter, and that's why I've written .php question mark is equals to. Okay, or you can put star also, like this. Star means anything. Okay, so you can put star or asterisk sign, and it could be anything. So if the parameters are like show, category, user, page, then they are visible to you in your list of results. So that's it with the first step, and I hope you have understood this. I'm going down. So now the next step is finding the endpoint. Now once we have the first step done, now now is the step to find the endpoint. Endpoint is in the vulnerable parameter. So as we know, we have an id parameter over here which holds the value 5. We have to inject a single quote at the end. So step number 2 says inject a single quote at the end of parameter value. So over here in this URL, parameter value is 5, and we have to inject a single quote at the end of that value. Why we are doing this? Understand? So this entire URL looks like this. Okay, In backend, when it reaches to database, it looks like this: select star from event underscore details, where id is equals to 5. Okay, and as we have already injected a single quote, the single quote will also go along with this query, but database will not understand that why there is a single quote, and why there is only a single quote. It means single quote means we are starting to enclose something within single quotes. Okay, so there should be two single quotes if we are trying to enclose anything, but we have only one single quote, and that's why database will throw an error. Okay, and that's what we actually want to do. We want to break the query, and we want database to throw some errors. Now if we can see the errors, we can then understand whether there is any possibility of SQL injection or not. So that's what we want to do actually. So now on adding a single quote at the end of parameter value, there could be two cases: case number one, case number two. So case number one says, you may end up getting such error. You may get such error after injecting a single quote. So the error seems like you have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to your MySQL server version, blah blah blah. Okay, or anything regarding MySQL or SQL. Understand? In case number one, you may get any message related to MySQL, SQL, or similar message. Okay. In case number two, you might get a blank page or an empty component on the web page, on the website, because if the debugging mode is disabled, you will not get any errors on the web page. So we developed to keep debugging mode off, to not to display the errors to the users. So that's why if you encounter case number two, understand, if the page goes blank, if the particular component goes blank, if you notice any changes, okay, then it is a case number two. Now in both the cases, if you encounter in case number one or case number two, if you get any error, or if you find any changes in the web page, then congratulations, you have found out a web applications endpoint that is vulnerable to MySQL injection. Okay, so that's step number two. Step number three says confirming the injection. So we know that this the particular ID parameter is vulnerable. Now we have to confirm whether our queries are working on the web application or not, because by looking simply at the error, okay, we cannot confirm that the injection will work, because in order to work an injection, our queries should work. Okay, so in step number two, the error which we have received, it could be a simple exception also. Okay, so a simple exception means a simple error which is only to display, and our particular parameter, or let's say our particular single quote, our different values, our different queries are not actually reaching to the database, or not executing in the database. Okay, so it may happen that case that way also, and that's why we have to do the step number three, which is confirming the injection. So in step number three, we will add order by one hyphen hyphen. So order by one is basically we are checking the base column one, whether base column one exists or not, and hyphen hyphen is to terminate the SQL query in the URL. Okay, so this is basically you can terminate the SQL query with the in the URL. So this is a part of syntax. So order by one hyphen hyphen after the actual URL, and this actually resembles to this thing. Okay, there are two queries now in one URL. This is an entire URL. So query number one is select star from event underscore details where id is equals to 5, which is this URL. So in the backend of this URL, such SQL query will be triggered onto the database. And query number two says order by one hyphen hyphen. So this is to check whether the base column one exists or not. So we have two queries over here. Now if the query 2 gets executed, if the query 2, which is order by one hyphen hyphen, which we have appended, if that gets executed in the above URL, it will return a normal page. It will return a normal page. Okay, so normal page is in a same page as you simply open this page. Okay, without order by one hyphen hyphen. Normal page means the same page which you simply open this particular link and get. Okay, so I'll just show you. This is normal page. This is normal page. Okay, just ignore this warning message, but this is normal page. This is an entire normal page. Okay, ignore this warning message, because when we simply load this URL, we get this warning message, but the page is normal for us. Okay, we have not injected a single code. So the same thing will happen when we do order by one hyphen hyphen. We will get the same normal page without any other changes in the web page. So this is normal page. Okay, so let me quickly go back to the slides. Then once you get the normal page, the confirmation of the injection is still not complete. Okay, we need to go ahead and increase the order by value. So we have to try order by 2 hyphen hyphen, order by 3 hyphen hyphen, and likewise order by a particular number until you receive the error. Okay, until you receive the error. So if you go on order by 5, order by 10, order by 15, and you end up with some error like this, unknown column 15 in order clause. Okay, you need to understand that there are 14 base columns in the database. So your order by 14 will work, your order by 1 to 14 will work, but your order by 15 will not work, because you have got a message like this, unknown column 15 in order clause. So at that time you have to stop. Okay, you are done with confirming the injection. Now, while searching for the error, like by increasing the order by number from 15, 20, 25, and you are not getting error, don't exceed order by 100 hyphen hyphen. Okay, if you are going order by 100 hyphen hyphen and still you are not getting error like this, unknown column 100 in order clause, then just hold on. Okay, it may be a string based injection. It may be a string based injection which we are going to cover up in another video. So don't exceed order by 100 hyphen hyphen in search of an error. Don't worry if you are not understanding this. We will go on to the live application and do the practicals also. So this is it. Then the fourth step is, so in previous step order by worked till 10, and from 11 it gave error. So let's check that as well. So order by 10, it is sorry. Okay, let me just go back and do the practical along with this video. So we are doing the first step, which is we added a single quote and we got an error related to MySQL. Okay, now we are doing the second step, order by hyphen hyphen. So we are getting a normal page. Then we are going to order by 5. So still 5, we are not getting any error, so I'm jumping to 10. So even in 10 we are not getting any error. See, when we are jumping from 1 to 5 and 5 to 10, it is sequential. If you don't get any error in 5, it means there are no errors for 2, 3 and 4 also. Okay, and then we are jumping to order by 11 hyphen hyphen, and again in 11 order by 11 hyphen hyphen, we have got this error. So instead of unknown column 11 in order clause, we have got this error. So you have to understand that once you get the error as similar to the single quote, when you injected a single quote, there was the same error, right? When you injected a single quote, there was the same error. And once the base columns are completed, are yes, once the base columns are completed, then also you are getting the same error. It means there are 10 base columns. Okay, so this is kind of a varied situation over here. So it works till order by 10 hyphen hyphen. Yeah, this is normal page. So we have looked till that, and now the next step says selecting the base columns. So for selecting the base columns, we have union query here, union select, and then 1 comma 2 comma up till 10. Okay, so 10 and hyphen hyphen. So this is what we need to inject, and on executing this particular entire URL, we can again get two cases. Case number one, either you will see some numbers on screen if you can see, then this is a call by value technique. Okay, and if you cannot see the numbers, apply a minus or hyphen sign before the parameter value, that is before 5 in this case. So this is call by reference technique. So here is 5, and here we have added a minus sign or hyphen sign, which is called by reference. So if we simply do not get any number on the screen, we have to add this hyphen sign, and we have to continue doing this union select. So let's look over here. Union select 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 6 8 and 9 and 10 hyphen hyphen. So in this case, we have got numbers on our screen 2, 8, and if you can see the title also 5. Okay, so there are three numbers on our screen, and this means on these three places, okay, on these three places we can pull out data from the database. And why we have got these three numbers? Because these are actually three columns in the database in a particular table, okay, from which the particular details are being fetched. So here whatever details are being fetched, it is column number 2. Here whatever details are being fetched, here it is column number 8, and here whatever details are being fetched is column number 5. Okay, so these are three columns from which you can retrieve the data. So yes, we are going good. And next step is finding the database name. Superb. So right from this step, we are going to fetch the different data from the database, and let's get started with this. So you can see, to find the data from the database, or let's say first of all, if you're finding the name of the database, we have to put database in place of the number. Okay, so we had three numbers 2, 8 and 5. So we can replace any of the number, and we can use such functions. So database is a function to retrieve the database name. Okay, so we can use that function in place of number 2. So I'm not writing number 2 over here, instead I'm replacing it with database, and let 3 4 5 let 6 7 8 be as it is. Okay, we don't want to replace 5, we don't want to replace 8 as of now. We can, but we don't want to do it. So once we execute this URL, we will get the database name as this, Iogen Pune 14. So let's do it. In place of number 2, I'll simply write database, and here it is Iogen Pune 14. So this is the database name. Now understand, you are sitting remotely and you are querying through the application, and you are asking database to give out some information based on your queries to you. Okay, so this is how SQL injection works. So you are sitting remotely and pulling out the data from the database. So we have got database name, and now we'll move towards finding the database version. So in this step, instead of database function, we will write version function, and we will retrieve the data, which is a function, okay, which is a version basically 5.7.29-log. So let's quickly do it. Instead of this database function, we will simply type down version. Okay, this is caps, I need to disable it, it's okay. And here we have retrieved the version of the database, which is 5.7.29. Next step is finding out the table names. So we will get into the database, and we will find out different tables, and then we'll find out different columns, and finally we'll retrieve the data also. So this step involves this query. Okay, I'll just make you understand step by step. So it starts with union select 1, and instead of 2 now, okay, we are now writing table underscore name. This is a part of syntax. From information underscore schema dot tables, where table underscore schema is equals to database. So let's break it down. information underscore schema dot tables is actually table structure. Okay, we are pointing to the table structure, and we are specifically asking to retrieve those tables who points to this database. Okay, we are specifically asking that the table structure should point to this database. Now when we know that when we use this database function, we retrieve the database called as iogen pune 14. So we want tables of this particular database. Understand, in a web application in the backend there could be multiple databases. Okay, but the current database is iogen pune 14, and we want to retrieve the table names of this particular database, and that's why we have added where table underscore schema is equals to database. So this is the entire query. It's a syntax. It may seem you like it's a difficult one, it's difficult to remember, but when you practice it, you'll definitely remember it. Okay, you don't need to mug up, you just practice it on different websites, on different web applications. So after executing this query, we will get output as admin underscore login. So admin underscore login is a table name. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. Instead of this version function, now we have to type down table underscore name, and after 10 we have to type down from information underscore schema dot tables where table underscore schema is equals to database. And here it is, admin underscore login. So this is table number one, but there could be multiple tables in the database, right? There is no like, there is not like a single table, so we can find out different tables also. Okay, so let's go ahead finding more tables, and with the help of group underscore concat function. So we will use this function. Let's see. So in the previous query we are simply adding this function group underscore concat, and we are passing table underscore name as an argument to this function. Okay, so group underscore concat, as the name suggests, so it will concatenate all the tables and it will pull out all the tables in a form of a group. So that's what the function is, and we're passing table underscore name as a syntax as an argument to this particular function, and the rest of the query is same. So on executing this query, we will get list of all the tables from this particular iogen pune 14 database, and this is it. Let's quickly go ahead and check that as well. So I'm adding group underscore concat, and over here I'm just closing the bracket, and yes, we have all the tables over here. So uh, you may not be able to look different tables on the UI, on the user interface, and that's why what you need to do is simply just copy in thing, go to page source. I pressed Control U to go to page source. Alternatively, what you can do is right click and view page source. Okay, and when you are here, Control F, Control V. So I've just copied out something to reach to this particular line, and yes, now over here you can see we have a lot of tables, lot of different tables. All these are tables, okay. So last table is table countries. So we have retrieved all the tables. Now the next step is to retrieve different columns of this particular table. The next step is to retrieve different columns of this particular table, and that's why the syntax will be changed a bit. Okay, now in last to last query we use table underscore name over here, but now we will replace it to column underscore name, and we were pointing to table structure. Now we will point to column structure. So information underscore schema dot columns instead of tables, and where table underscore name is equals to admin underscore login within the double quotes, because admin underscore login is a string. Okay, and we have to enclose it. So you may use single quote or double quote. On some websites double quotes work, so on this website double quotes work, on other websites single quote also work. So we see by this where table underscore name is equals to admin underscore login, we are specifically asking for table columns of admin underscore login table. Okay, if we don't write this, we will get all the columns of all the tables at the same time, and we will not understand that what columns are from what tables. Okay, so you have to be specific. So that's if you execute this query, you'll get an output, this particular column. Okay, admin id, the first column is admin id, so we will retrieve this. So let's go ahead and check it out. Instead of this table, we'll do column name. Instead of these tables, we will replace it with columns. And where table underscore schema will be replaced with name, because now we have the name of the table. Previously we were not having the name of the table, but now we have name of the table. So that's why we will type down like this, where table underscore name is equals to admin underscore login, and enter. Okay. So we'll just have to remove this view source, enter. So here we have admin id is the first column. Okay, admin id is the first column, and if you want all the columns together, we have to again put group underscore concat for this column, and we have to pass this column underscore name as an argument to this function, and we will get output like this, all the column names in one shot: admin id, username, password, email. Oh my god, so username and password. Okay, so that's what we want, right? That's what we want. This is the most important thing. So group underscore concat, and yes, so we have everything over here. So I'll simply fetch username and password, nothing else for now, for this demonstration. Okay, I don't want admin id and anything else. I don't want email as well. So last step, finding the data. So this is simple. This is very simple. Union, it's like select column name from table name, the basic query that we learned when we started learning SQL. So select, union select. Okay, instead of this two, we have to write this from admin underscore login. Okay, and hyphen hyphen. So no information underscore schema dot tables or columns, nothing like that. Simply from table name. So table name is admin underscore login. Now specifically for this website, you have to use convert and using latin 1. Okay, specifically for this website, you have to use this convert, and lastly using latin 1. You may not require this require to use convert using latin 1 and on other websites. Okay, so when to use this convert and using latin 1: when you find out some such error: illegal mix of collations for operation union. Illegal mix of collations for operation union. If you find out such error while retrieving the data, you can try using convert, and at the end you have to end it with using latin 1. Okay, but apart from this website, if you're trying on any other website, you can simply try out group underscore concat username comma 0x3a comma password. So understand, this 0x3a is not a column which we are retrieving. 0x3a is not a column which we are retrieving. It's just a hex value of colon. It's just a hex value of colon sign. Okay, which we are using as a separator, between username and password, because when we retrieve the username and password, we want username and password to be separated so that we don't get confused. So we will finally get an output like this. And this hex value of 0x3a will be converted into into colon, and that's why we can differentiate that this is the username and this is the password. So yeah, let's go ahead and quickly do that as well. So convert, instead of this column name, now we have the name of the column. Okay, so 0x3a comma password, and nasty using, sorry, latent one, and close the bracket. So nothing much over here. Simply you have to remove all this and from admin underscore login. So here it is. Here is the username. IOGEN CMS is the username. AAA@13 Pune is the password. So I hope you have got all the details. You have understood MySQL integer based injection. And if you are still confused, if you are still not clear, go back and watch out the entire video again. You may take some time to grasp this, but make sure you understand it well. This trick works. Okay, it works on a lot of different web applications, and yeah, this is the one of the most critical vulnerability of web applications. Okay, so I hope you like the video and practice it. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video.